What you're looking at right now is not from a movie, and it's not CGI. This is official United States Navy footage, captured by the crew of an FA-18 fighter jet released by the Pentagon itself. The object on the screen has no wings, no visible propulsion. It rotates against the wind and moves in ways that defy what we know about flight. The U.S. military calls it a UAP, an Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon. They have never explained what it is. I'm going to show you the video again, but this time I'm going to turn on the audio so you can get a better idea of what the jet pilot saw. And here we go.
That's the wind. The wind's 120 knots to the west. Look at that thing, dude. That's not our LNS though, is it? It's not. That is our LNS, dude. Well, if there's a other thing, it's rotating. Yeah.
This footage is known as the Gimbal video. It was recorded in 2015 off the east coast of the United States. Navy pilots tracked this object for several minutes. It was officially released by the Department of Defense in 2020. That release came only after the footage had already leaked to the public. Let that sink in for a moment. The government released this only after they had no choice. Now here's what makes this story even bigger. The Gimbal video is one of the very few things the government has ever shown us, and they only showed it because it leaked first. So, what are they hiding? Are they hiding something? We don't know. We now know, though, for a fact that the U.S. Navy is sitting on 78 classified photographs. Photographs officially designated as UAP. A Freedom of Information request confirmed those photos exist. An appeal was filed to release them. And just days ago, on February 24th, 2026, that appeal was denied. I'm going to take a look at this FOIA request here. So this is a FOIA request applied for by Mr. John Greenwald Jr. of the Black Vault, theblackvault.com. It's a government research transparency company. In it, I've highlighted a few important areas of this FOIA request. The first one is, in your request, you sought all photographs with a designation of Unidentified Aerial Phenomena, or UAP, as archived by the U.S. Navy. And then it goes on to say, you now appeal the ID because it was denied at one point, and then he's done an appeal. So you now appeal the IDA's final disposition. The IDA informed you that 78 photographs were being withheld. Wow, 78 photographs being withheld. And then it goes at the end, it says, your appeal is a request for a final agency determination under the FOIA. For that reason, stated below, your appeal is denied. Denied. Even as the President of the United States has publicly called for UAP files to be released, the Navy said no. Despite Trump's public call for UAP transparency, just days after President Donald Trump publicly called for the release of UAP files, the United States Navy formally denied an appeal seeking the declassification of 78 photographs. Think about that. These photographs are officially designated as Unidentified Aerial Phenomena, or UAP. The denial was dated on February 24, 2026. The appeal was filed by the Black Vault, a government transparency research organization. So in February 2026, it was denied right after President Trump had asked for the release of these files. This whole thing started in September of 2022. The Black Vault filed a Freedom of Information Act request. The request was simple. All photographs designated as unidentified aerial phenomena archived by the U.S. Navy should be released. 2 years later, on November 13, 2024, the Navy confirmed 78 responsive photographs do exist, and they denied on a FOIA exemption. Every single one was withheld in full. The reason cited? National security classification. The appeal was submitted in 2025, November, citing public interest, but was denied again. So it was a couple of times. The Black Vault are very, they really went after this. The Office of the Judge Advocate General reviewed the case. Their conclusion, this was the appeal, all 78 photographs remain classified. Their letter states that the records are classified under an executive order, and that segregation of any portion or partial release was not possible. In other words, not even a redacted version can be shown to the public. The Navy made their legal position crystal clear. If information qualifies under this exemption, there is no discretion regarding its release. So at the center of this secrecy, of withholding information, is this executive order. This order governs how national security information gets classified. It covers military plans, weapon systems, and operations. Once information is classified under this order, federal courts almost always defer to the agency. So that same executive order that lets the president order declassification is the same authority the Navy is using to block this release. Public rhetoric says, release everything. The legal machinery says, not yet. The appeal cited significant public interest in transparency. It pointed directly to a congressional hearing held in November 13th on 2024. The hearing was titled Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena Exposing the Truth. Witnesses at that hearing raised serious concerns about excessive secrecy around UAP materials. Enough's enough. Members of Congress on both sides of the aisles have demanded answers. Four of the witnesses in that meeting were Dr. Tim Gallaudet, Rear Admiral of the United States Navy; Luis Elizondo, author and former Department of Defense official; Michael Gold, former NASA administrator; and reporter Michael Schellenberg. Yet today, these 78 photographs remain locked behind a classification wall. Which brings us to our closing segment. I'm going to introduce you to someone who personally handled the analysis of UAP footage at the highest levels of U.S. intelligence. A former United States Air Force intelligence analyst, task force member. The footage I'm going to show you was released by Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp. It was released in February. A man named Lenval Logan, a former U.S. Air Force intelligence analyst and verified member of the UAP task force, just confirmed on Weaponize that he was the analyst who personally ordered the video analysis of the footage inside the intelligence community. So just for a little context here, Logan spent over 20 years in Air Force intelligence. His role on the task force meant he was the person who took signals intelligence, imagery, human reports, pilot debriefs, and assembled them into a single picture for his commander. So there's three videos. The first video is Lenval Logan coming to the conclusion, him and his friends came to the conclusion, co-workers, that this video met all parameters of a UAP. The second video is him admitting that he was the person who released the evidence to be viewed by UAP task force. And the third one that we're going to show you is really interesting because it's Lenval Logan admitting that there are even better pictures and better videos. So here we go.
I came to the conclusion, and the other guys came to the conclusion, that this met all the parameters of a UAP.
Video 2.
That you guys pulled out for Syria, right? I got so many calls on that because I was the one that requested the video analysis for that particular one, all right? And everybody was calling me. It was like, dude, did you see that? I was like, what? Oh, shit.
Have you ever in your history of analysis seen a better piece of footage of instantaneous acceleration by a UAP?
Yes.
Can you tell us about it?
Let's review those videos one more time.
I came to the conclusion, and the other guys came to the conclusion, that this met all the parameters of a UAP. Particular one that you guys pulled out for Syria, right? I got so many calls on that because I was the one that requested the video analysis for that particular one, all right? And everybody was calling me. It was like, dude, did you see that? I was like, what? Oh, shit.
Have you ever in your history of analysis seen a better piece of footage of instantaneous acceleration by a UAP?
Yes.
Can you tell us about it?
This is not speculation, and this is not a conspiracy theory. This is a former U.S. Air Force intelligence analyst, personally vetted and recruited by the UAP task force, admitting that these objects are real. The scientific infrastructure to analyze disclosure material exists right now. The people capable of doing the work are available right now, as we've just shown you. What is missing is the pipeline connecting the evidence to the analysis. The words from the Oval Office means nothing if the agency itself, underneath it, continues to stonewall. In closing, the 78 photographs must be released. The footage Lenval Logan describes must be released. Transparency is not a threat to national security. Deception is. So what do you want to believe would actually have to change for the most significant UAP evidence to reach the public? So I want you to leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'm Stephen Joyce of UAP Disclosure, and that's it for today. Subscribe for UAP Disclosure news updates. Be safe, and remember, keep your eyes on the skies.